Hey Scorpio, I just pulled some cards and honestly I need to share this with you right away because the energy coming through is pretty intense. So the theme here is about someone who really wants to reach out to you, and I know that might sound a bit alarming, but just stay with me here, okay? Because this is actually quite fascinating when you look at what the cards are. Revealing. Let me start with the first card that came up, which is the Ace of Swords, and this card is all about clarity and truth cutting through confusion. What this is telling me is that there is mental clarity happening for someone in your orbit right now. They have been doing a lot of thinking, and suddenly everything has clicked into place for them. This person has had some kind of revelation about you or about the situation between you two, and they cannot keep it to themselves anymore. The Ace of Swords represents that moment when the fog lifts and you can finally see what has been there all along. This person has reached a point where they understand something important, and they need to communicate it to you. The sword energy is sharp and direct, so when this conversation happens, it is going to be straightforward and honest. There will be no games or hidden meanings, just pure, unfiltered truth coming your way. Now, what makes this even more interesting is the Page of Swords showed up next, and this card is literally the messenger of the tarot deck. Pages bring news and information, and when you get the Page of Swords, it means someone is gathering their courage to say something they have been holding back. This person might be younger than you, or they could just have a youthful or nervous energy about approaching you. They are rehearsing what they want to say in their mind over and over again. You know that feeling when you practice a conversation in the shower or before you fall asleep at night? That is exactly what this person is doing right now. They are choosing their words carefully because whatever they need to tell you feels important and maybe a little scary to them. The Page of Swords can also indicate that this communication might come through text or social media or some kind of written form first before they work up the nerve to say it in person. Then we have the Seven of Swords appearing. And okay, this is where things get a bit more complex, because this card is associated with strategy and sometimes secrecy. What I am picking up here is that this person has been keeping something from you, and they are now realizing that holding on to this secret is causing more problems than just being honest would. The Seven of Swords often shows up when someone has been sneaking around or not being completely transparent, but the energy here feels more like they were trying to protect themselves or maybe protect you from something. They thought they had good reasons for not sharing this information, but now they are understanding that the truth needs to come out. This card can also suggest that they have been testing the waters or trying to figure out the best way to approach you without causing unnecessary drama or hurt. Moving into the Five of Wands, and this card is bringing up themes of conflict and competition. What this tells me is that there has been some tension or disagreement that has been simmering beneath the surface. Maybe you and this person have had some arguments, or there have been misunderstandings that created distance between you. The Five of Wands represents that chaotic energy where everyone is talking but nobody is really listening, and everyone is defending their own position without trying to understand the other side. This person now realizes that all this fighting and defending has been pointless, and they want to put down their weapons, so to speak. They are tired of the conflict, and they want to clear the air with you. The interesting thing about the Five of Wands is that often the battle is not as serious as it seems, and once people stop being defensive and actually communicate, things can resolve pretty quickly. The Three of Swords came through, and I have to tell you, Scorpio, this is one of the most emotionally heavy cards in the deck because it represents heartbreak and painful truth. Someone has been carrying around hurt feelings, and this pain has been affecting them deeply. The Three of Swords shows up when there has been betrayal or disappointment or some kind of emotional wound that cuts deep. What I am getting from this is that either this person hurt you in some way and they are now understanding the impact of their actions, or you hurt them and they need to express how that affected them. There is grief here and sadness that needs to be acknowledged. The reason they want to talk to you is partly to heal this wound because carrying around this heartache has become too heavy. They need closure, or they need to apologize, or they need you to understand their side of the story. The Three of Swords is painful, yes, but it is also necessary because you cannot heal a wound that you pretend does not exist. Now the Six of Swords appears, and this is such a hopeful card after all that heaviness because it represents moving forward and leaving difficult times behind. This person wants to have this conversation with you because they are ready to transition into a better phase. The Six of Swords shows someone who is tired of being stuck in the pain or the confusion, and they want to sail toward calmer waters. They see talking to you as a necessary step in their journey forward. This card suggests that the conversation they want to have is not about dwelling on the past, but about acknowledging it so they can move beyond it. They are ready for peace and resolution, and they believe that connecting with you is part of that process. The Six of Swords is gentle and quiet energy, so even though there might be difficult things to discuss, the intention behind it is healing and progress. The Nine of Wands showed up next, and this card is all about resilience and determination, but also about being somewhat guarded and defensive. This person has been through some battles, and they have the scars to prove it. They are tired, but they are still standing, and they are not giving up. What the Nine of Wands tells me is that reaching out to you takes courage for them because they have been hurt before, and they are naturally protective of themselves now. They are weighing the risks of being vulnerable with you against the need to say what is on their mind. This card suggests they have tried to move on without having this conversation, but they keep coming back to the realization that they need to address this directly with you. The Nine of Wands energy is stubborn in a way because even though they are scared of being hurt again, they are determined to do what they know is right. Then we get the Ten of Cups, and oh Scorpio, this is beautiful because it is one of the most positive cards in the entire deck, representing emotional fulfillment and happy endings. What this tells me is that this person has hope for what could be possible between you two. They are not reaching out just to air grievances or create more drama, but because they can envision something really good coming from honest communication. The Ten of Cups is about lasting happiness and emotional satisfaction and deep connections that feel like home. This person might be reaching out because they see potential for a real and meaningful relationship with you, or maybe they want to restore harmony to a connection that has become strained. Whatever their specific message is, the underlying motivation is positive and hopeful. They believe that clearing the air with you could lead to something genuinely good. The Two of Cups appears, and this card is the ultimate symbol of partnership and mutual connection. It represents two people coming together in understanding and equality and genuine care for each other. What I am getting from this is that the person who wants to talk to you values the connection you share, and they want to restore or deepen that bond. The Two of Cups is about reciprocity and balance, so they are hoping that when they reach out, you will be receptive and willing to meet them halfway. This is not about one person dominating the conversation or making demands, but about two people being honest and open with each other. The energy here is gentle and respectful, and it suggests that even if the conversation touches on difficult topics, the foundation is mutual respect and care. Finally, the Eight of Cups comes through, and this card represents walking away and leaving behind what no longer serves you. Now, this might seem contradictory at first because why would someone want to talk to you if they are walking away? But what I am understanding from this is that this person needs this conversation as part of their closure process. The Eight of Cups shows someone who is ready to move on, but they need to complete unfinished business first. They cannot just disappear without saying what needs to be said because that would leave them with regrets. This conversation they want to have with you is about honoring what was between you even as they prepare to move forward. It could also mean that they are walking away from their own fear or pride or stubbornness to have this honest discussion with you. The Eight of Cups takes courage because it means leaving your comfort zone, and that is exactly what this person is preparing to do. So Scorpio, when I look at all these cards together, the story that emerges is pretty clear. Someone in your life has been going through an internal journey of realizing they need to communicate something important to you. They have been thinking about this a lot and working up the courage to reach out. There has been pain between you, whether that was caused by misunderstanding or actual hurt, but this person is ready to address it directly. They see value in your connection, and they have hope that honest conversation could lead to healing and possibly even to something really positive between you. They are not coming at you with anger or blame, but with a genuine desire to clear the air and move forward in a healthy way. The reason you should not panic about this is because the overall energy here is constructive, not destructive. Yes, there might be some uncomfortable truths that come up, and yes, you might need to face some difficult emotions, but the intention behind this communication is ultimately positive. This person respects you enough to be honest with you, and that is actually a gift even if the message itself is hard to hear. What I would suggest for you, Scorpio, is to be open to listening when this person reaches out. You do not have to agree with everything they say, and you do not have to make any immediate decisions about what happens next, but just being willing to hear them out with an open heart could make all the difference. The cards are showing that this conversation has the potential to bring closure and healing, and possibly even to strengthen your connection depending on what you both want moving forward. Remember that the Ace of Swords is about truth and clarity, so whatever comes out of this conversation will help you see the situation more clearly. The Page of Swords reminds you that this person is being brave by reaching out, so try to meet that courage with grace. The Seven of Swords suggests there might be things you did not know before that will finally come to light. The Five of Wands energy means there might be some initial friction as you both work through your perspectives, but that is just part of the process. The Three of Swords acknowledges that pain exists, but facing it is how you heal. The Six of Swords promises that movement toward better times is possible. The Nine of Wands shows that both of you have been through enough, and you are ready for resolution. The Ten of Cups reminds you that happiness and fulfillment are worth striving for. The Two of Cups emphasizes the value of genuine connection. And the Eight of Cups tells you that sometimes closure and moving forward requires having those difficult conversations first. I hope this reading has given you some insight into what might be coming your way, Scorpio. The main message here is that someone wants to connect with you from a place of honesty, and the universe is supporting this communication happening. Trust yourself to handle whatever comes up with your natural Scorpio intensity and emotional intelligence. You have got this.